Thinking about the concept of constraints in UX might invoke a less than positive reaction. Maybe you're used to dealing with constraints that limit your ability to get things done, like budget constraints or technical limitations. Luckily, that's not the topic of this video. I want to talk about constraints that we willingly impose on ourselves. What? Voluntary constraints? Why would we do that? Well, some constraints aren't handcuffs that restrict us, but rather friendly parameters that can guide us and help us focus. They're kind of like those little helpful bumpers at the bowling alley that keep your ball moving in the right direction. And when those are in place, you can move faster and better, maybe innovate on your bowling ball toss and improve your technique, all because those constraints are there to keep you on track. Positive constraints are a powerful tool we should incorporate into our UX processes because they have a host of benefits. One benefit of constraints is that they can make it easier to contribute and share perspectives. For example, in UX workshops, we use constraints to create spaces where people can more easily and comfortably contribute to group activities and discussions. One practical application is to use constraints to limit people's ability to self-censor. For example, think about a classic workshop scene with sketching activities. When we give people things like time limits and small spaces to sketch within, and maybe big, thick markers to use, we're constraining their ability to get overly detailed, thus making it easier for them to express informal ideas. Perhaps counterintuitively, constraints also increase creativity. In brainstorming discussions, sometimes people are given an open prompt like, "Hey everybody, just share your ideas. Anything goes." This is an unconstrained invitation, which generally leads to things like premature fixation and groupthink and just generally uninspired ideas. Adding a constraint, like maybe flipping that problem on its head and asking people to brainstorm anti-solutions, for example, helps people think outside of the box and come up with creative ideas more easily. Finally, constraints guide objective decision-making. Design principles, user stories, personas that capture and prioritize user needs. These are all constraints we impose upon ourselves that, when used effectively, help us make better informed design decisions and navigate feature prioritizations and trade-offs. So, the next time you need to guide a process, think about how you can provide and work with constraints, not in spite of them. Positive constraints help people contribute, increase creativity, and guide objective design decisions.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of our UX videos, take a look at this over here and consider subscribing to our channel. On our website, ngroup.com, you can access our free library of over 2,000 articles. You can also register for one of our UX courses that offer live hands-on UX training.